to see you. All right, all right. Everything is moving right along. And yourself?
That's good. I'm fine. That's
Wonderful, wonderful.
My heart is filled to overflowing with the crowd that's here today.
And Father in heaven, we most of all thank you for the service sacrifice of Milton Lee Olive III. And while we do that, oh Father, we pause to thank you for the sacrifice of his mother, who gave her life in giving him life.
We welcome you all to this monument dedication, long coming. Private First Class Alfred Milton Olive. He was the first African American to receive the Medal of Honor in the Vietnam War.
Some gave all, and all gave some. Private First Class Milton Lee Olive gave all.
Lastly, we want to thank those who contributed money to this cause. Let me mention just one of them. A couple of weeks ago, an elderly gentleman, a 100% disabled American veteran named Johnny Dale, sort of hobbled in, I hobble too sometimes, Mr. Dale, but sort of hobbled in my office and wanted to speak. He related that he was a friend of Milton Lee Olive, that he went through basic training with him, and then went through airborne school with him. We talked for a moment, then he reached into his pocket and he handed me a crumpled up $100 bill. And he told me he'd been waiting 50 years for something to be done to honor his friend Milton Lee Olive. Would you please join with me in welcoming our guests and in thanking Johnny Dale for his service. If I may be allowed a personal privilege here, that one other person who made this day a reality, and it started this way. Last Memorial Day, 2016, 3 of my older granddaughters from Nashville were visiting us, Nancy and me, here in Lexington for a few days. The older child, Aiden, who was 11 years old at the time, asked me, "What are we going to do for Memorial Day, Poppy?" I had nothing planned. So I improvised. I took them out on Miles Hill, out south of Lexington, where there's a historical marker, and I let them read how Milton Lee Olive saved the lives of 4 other members of his platoon by intentionally falling on and absorbing the blast of a Viet Cong hand grenade, giving his life for theirs, and being the only Holmes County to ever have received the Congressional Medal of Honor. Where's the Milton Olive Monument, Poppy? It's in Chicago, I said. But you said he grew up in Holmes County. Why is there no monument for him in Holmes County? I was shamed by her innocent but pointed question. I couldn't sleep that night. Next Board of Supervisors meeting, I was there. I told them kind of the story and what was on my mind, and instantly got their full support, and here we are. I would like for Aiden Barrett, the little girl that started all this, to stand up and be recognized, if you will.
Can I have you stand up and a show of hands for the folks who served here in Vietnam, please? So the one man who didn't stand today is the man we're here to honor, Milton Lee Olive. I want to close by just stating what it is I believe Milton Lee Olive died for, and what the men and women who stood this morning served for And it goes back to this piece of paper that these 56 men signed on July 4th of 1776. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Milton Lee Olive III is a true American hero. From this day forward, his legacy will never be forgotten in Holmes County. His legacy will go on forever.
On behalf of Milton's family, I would like to say that we are proud, we are honored, and we are grateful. Yes, this day has been a long time coming, but thanks to the curiosity of a then 11-year-old young girl and God's intervention, that day has finally come. Never forget, never forget, never forget the ultimate sacrifice that Milton made for us and for his country. Well, today, this event, this monument, will now ensure that Milton's memory will never die and that his sacrifice will never be forgotten. To Aiden and to Don Barrett, yes, we are grateful for this day. And on behalf of the Milton Olive III family, we say thank you.
Private First Class Olive saw the grenade and then saved the lives of his fellow soldiers at the sacrifice of his by grabbing the grenade in his hand and falling on it to absorb the blast with his body. Private First Class Olive's extraordinary heroism at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty are in the highest traditions of the United States Army and reflect great credit upon himself and the armed forces of the United States of America.
The family has asked Olive family member Kelby Wade and Aiden Barrett to now unveil.
you.